Ferrari has finally confirmed what many had been suspecting for a long time about the SF25. The car is not behaving the way it should, and this issue runs deeper than previously imagined. As the Miami Grand Prix approaches, Ferrari has opened up about the challenges they've been facing with their 2025 Formula One car. For years, fans have listened to promises and hopeful words from the team, only to see disappointing results on track. This time, though, the tone seems more grounded and realistic. Instead of hype, there's now a cautious but detailed focus on understanding and fixing the core issues of the car. Team principal Fred Vasseur has admitted that the SF25 doesn't behave on track like it does in the simulator. That's a massive problem for a team trying to challenge Red Bull, McLaren and Mercedes. When your car looks fast in simulations but struggles in the real world, it means your entire development path is built on misleading data. This mismatch between virtual performance and actual race conditions has hurt Ferrari badly, especially in qualifying sessions. Because they can't get the most out of the car in one lap pace, they've been starting races from poor positions. This immediately puts them at a disadvantage, forcing them to try and recover during the race, which is much harder than securing a strong position early on. It's not just Ferrari that faces this kind of problem. Other teams deal with it too, but what stands out is that Vasseur and the Ferrari leadership are now being much more transparent about their struggles. Vasseur has said that the team is now focusing on fixing the issues based on what they're learning directly from trackside data, not just relying on simulations. This is a big shift in mindset. During the Chinese Grand Prix, the team noticed that the SF25 still has major issues, especially when going through slow corners and mid-speed corners. The car is not stable, and this instability makes it very hard for the drivers to trust it when pushing to the limits. That's why, instead of rushing to bring in new updates, Ferrari has decided to take a step back and fully understand how the car behaves. Both drivers, Charles Leclerc and Lewis Hamilton, agree with this new approach. They've made it clear that no upgrade can work properly unless there's a solid base to build on. This is not just about changing parts, but about understanding what each part is doing. One of the most sensitive issues with the current SF25 is how the rear of the car behaves. Leclerc has been open in saying that he doesn't feel confident with the rear end, especially in medium and high-speed corners. That's a big deal in Formula One, because if a driver doesn't trust the rear of the car, he can't push hard through fast turns. The instability in the rear affects the car's overall balance, and it becomes unpredictable. The problem isn't just about adjusting the wing or tweaking downforce. Ferrari found out that in certain conditions, the car sits too low and puts extra load on the rear axle. The logical solution would be to raise the ride height slightly, but that would impact other performance areas like aerodynamic efficiency and straight-line speed. So now Ferrari is stuck trying to find a setup that works well across all types of corners, without sacrificing too much in other areas. Another big issue is tyre performance. The soft tyres are crucial for qualifying, but the SF25 struggles to generate the necessary grip with these compounds. Without grip, the car doesn't accelerate well out of corners, and lap times suffer. Ferrari's challenge right now is to make the car more predictable. That consistency is key for any driver to explore the full potential of the car. A Formula One car that behaves differently from one lap to another is a nightmare for drivers. Ferrari understands this and believes that small improvements in predictability can already bring major benefits in the coming races, especially if these improvements are combined with carefully planned upgrades. The team might finally start moving forward. Learning from past mistakes, Ferrari is changing its strategy for updates this year. Instead of introducing big upgrade packages all at once like they did in 2024, they're now following a more cautious path, making gradual improvements race by race. Vasseur admitted that last year, the team placed too much hope in updates. That looked good on paper, but made things worse on track. This year, the priority is to analyze every single change properly. Updates are tested, observed, and then refined. They will only be introduced once the team fully understands how they work in real conditions. The idea is to avoid making changes based on simulations or guesswork. This new method also involves adapting the car for each specific circuit. Ferrari is now tailoring its setup and potential upgrades depending on the characteristics of each track. Things like corner types, temperature, and tire behavior. In Miami, for example, the team hasn't confirmed yet whether they will bring the new parts. If they're not fully convinced the parts will work under local conditions, they're prepared to wait. This approach is all about building a long-term solution, instead of looking for short-term fixes. It also marks a big shift in Ferrari's working culture. Engineers and drivers are now working more closely together. The team has realized that data and charts are important, but so is the feedback from the people who are actually driving the car. While Ferrari continues to monitor the car's behavior during each session, their development team is already focusing on three main areas that could revolutionize the SF25's performance. These three focus points are the side pods, the bodywork, and weight reduction. All of these are critical to achieving a balanced and efficient car. Let's start with the side pods. These play a huge role in how air flows around the car, which affects both cooling and aerodynamics. Ferrari is exploring new side pod designs that can improve airflow and give more lateral stability during long corners. These are the types of turns where the current SF25 still has trouble. Next is the bodywork. Ferrari plans to review the entire shape of the chassis to reduce excess weight. Every single gram matters under current regulations. Even a small reduction in mass can lead to better acceleration, improved braking, and less tire wear. The last major area of focus is the floor of the car. This is one of the most sensitive and important components in modern F1 design. A new floor is expected to be introduced in Imola. Since any change to the floor affects how the entire car behaves, Ferrari is treating this upgrade with extra caution. The combination of these three development paths, side pods, bodywork, and floor, shows how Ferrari is planning a full structural change, not just superficial tweaks. The goal is to give their drivers a car that feels stable and performs well across all types of circuits and weather conditions. That includes high-speed tracks like Silverstone, technical layouts like Monaco, and power-hungry circuits like Monza. Every single component now has to go through a much stricter process before being used. The big question is whether Ferrari will be able to apply any of these upgrades already in Miami. There's talk of a new aerodynamic package, including software changes to improve how the car is managed. But Ferrari has made it clear they won't use any part unless they're sure it brings a real benefit. Behind the scenes, there's a cautious optimism. The team believes it has finally mapped out the root causes of many of the car's inconsistencies, especially in corners. They now know where the improvements could be most effective, but they're also aware of the danger of overpromising. This season, the communication coming from Ferrari has been much more technical and measured. In the past, they often raised expectations too early, which only led to more disappointment. Now they want to see results before making bold claims. One of the most important parts of this recovery plan is improving how the car handles soft tires. These are vital for qualifying, and the Miami track especially demands strong traction out of corners and good stability under braking. If Ferrari can make the SF25 work properly with the soft compounds in Miami, it would be a strong signal that the upgrades and setup changes are going in the right direction. If not, then Miami will simply be another testing ground to gather more data for future improvements. The main thing is that Ferrari has stopped rushing. They're no longer trying to fix everything at once. Instead, they're correcting problems, one step at a time. This approach may not deliver overnight miracles, but it gives the team a much better chance at long-term consistency. That consistency has been missing in recent years. We've seen a Ferrari that can sometimes compete at the front, but just as often fall behind when the conditions change or the track doesn't suit their car. Now the focus is on building a car that drivers can rely on, no matter the track.